From Holliday Group, here's Karen Kaplan.
Exactly 30 years ago today, on October 26, 1985, the very first time jump occurred at the Twin Pines Mall in the movie Back to the Future. The success of that film paved the way for a now well-known sequel that depicted what life might be like 30 years into their future, October 2015, including some glimpses into the future of media, like newspapers, communications, and yes, even television. Well, here we are, October 2015, and guess what? Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale got it wrong. How? They assumed that media channels and behaviors would continue to operate much like they had in 1985. In other words, they imagined a linear future when writing their screenplay. But life doesn't work like that. Our futures aren't the continuation of our past. And that's also true for the future of media. Linear experiences are now part of the past. In 2015, TV and video are all mashed up. Technology is forging new behavior. New business models are beating up the industry status quo. Online creators are more popular than Hollywood stars, and brands are shifting budgets from TV to digital. And it's why we're in the midst of a great disruption in the advertising industry. TV ratings are plummeting, ad blocking is rising, and mobile is dominating. And you know what? I couldn't be more excited about this, because it's making us rethink, reframe, and redefine advertising. Now, one thing that Back to the Future did get right was the idea of telling an immersive, nuanced story in a largely nonlinear way, jumping back and forth between decades, even centuries, if you count Back to the Future 3, and let's not. This franchise challenged the notion of a traditional narrative and influenced an entire genre in the process. And in its own way, it was a disruptive force in Hollywood. And so, taking a cue from Doc Brown and Marty McFly, on the 30th anniversary of their first nonlinear journey, I want to highlight 3 ways to approach modern advertising in our nonlinear journey in what I'm calling the Great Disruption. Number 1, where we're going, we don't need roads. Though our future may be largely unmapped, I can tell you that TV as we know it is not at the center of it. What is television today anyway? In a world of streaming video, OTT, and TV everywhere, we can no longer approach TV and online video separately. Say goodbye to TV campaigns. Instead, reframe TV advertising as part of a larger video strategy that transcends channels, platforms, and devices, but with creative that respects each native video format. Vertical video, skippable pre-roll, Facebook autoplay, and 30-second spots are just some of the opportunities for purpose-built creative that expresses your brand. While creatively unique, they are all video and must be strategically connected as part of a video storytelling portfolio for maximum reach and effectiveness. So ditch the TV strategy, which leads me to number 2. Integration is your destiny. Modern storytelling is a combination of science and ideas. We're long past the days when advertising creative fit into standard media containers, simply vessels to be filled. In a world of programmatic, dynamic creative, custom partnerships, and multi-screens, we now have infinite permutations and possibilities to create and deliver advertising. There can be no more baton passes between media and creative groups, and technology can't be a bolt-on. So integrate your creative, media, and tech people. Number 3, there's no sports almanac from the future, but there are sure bets. While there's no silver bullet to reach consumers, providing them value always wins. We all know that it's easier than ever for people to avoid advertising. Today's consumers expect more value from brands' marketing. Sure, they'll pay attention to your marketing, but only if it's either useful or entertaining to them. The biggest and most valuable brands in the world understand that just communicating is no longer sufficient for brand building and driving loyalty. They must also be committed to proving their brand's value. And doing so, their marketing must pull its share of the weight. This means blowing up the very definition of an ad to include the kind of marketing-led experiences through experience design that better your customers' lives. Think experiences, not ads. Over the course of today, you're going to see a provocative take on the state of media and advertising. And my hope is that all of us will feel a little outside our comfort zones for the 5th annual TVnext as we go back to or into our future together.